3 years ago, I did something most fathers would call unforgivable. I deleted both of my children's phone numbers, not because I hated them, not because they hurt me, but because one night I listened to my own voicemail and I heard something that broke me. A 4-minute message from a 79-year-old man begging his children to call him back. That man was me. I realized I had spent 2 years knocking on a door that wasn't opening, hoping that one day it would, and that night I understood something painful. Sometimes the hardest thing a parent must do is stop chasing their own children. My name is Harold Thompson. I'm 82 years old now, and deleting those numbers was the best decision I ever made. But to understand why, you need to hear the whole story. I have 2 children. My daughter Laura is 49. She lives about 40 minutes away in a small town outside Dayton. I know the distance because for years I drove there without thinking. To fix her leaking sink, to watch my grandkids after school, to shovel snow from her driveway before she even asked, because that's what fathers do, or at least that's what I believed. My son Andrew is 46. He used to call every Sunday afternoon, like clockwork. If clocks ran on Andrew, the world would never be late. But that was years ago. Now listen carefully. I know why many of you are watching this video. You're sitting in a quiet house. Maybe you're watching on your television, maybe on a tablet, maybe on the same phone that hasn't rung in days, maybe months. And every morning you wake up thinking, maybe today they'll call. I told myself that for almost 2 years. 2 years of messages. Hey kid, just checking in. Call your old man when you get a minute. Thinking about you. Sometimes they called. Short calls. Careful calls. The kind where you can almost hear them looking at the clock. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And what did I do? I tried harder. More texts, more calls, more reminders that I was still here. When something starts slipping away, we grab tighter. It feels like love, but sometimes it's pressure. I spent 41 years working maintenance at a steel plant in Pittsburgh. When a machine part starts grinding, squealing, resisting, you don't force it harder. A good mechanic stops. He steps back, figures out what's wrong before the whole system breaks. But I didn't do that. One night I called Andrew. He didn't answer. I left a voicemail. Later that evening, my phone accidentally played the message back to me. I sat in my living room and listened. 4 minutes, 4 long minutes, and under every calm sentence, I heard it. Desperation. A man pretending everything was fine while quietly begging for attention. I realized something that night. I wasn't calling to give my children love anymore. I was calling to get something back. Reassurance, proof I still mattered. And without realizing it, I had turned myself into a burden. Here's a hard truth most parents never want to hear. Children don't always pull away from love. Sometimes they pull away from pressure. The pressure we don't even realize we're putting on them. That night I went into my garage. I've had some of those tools since the early 1980s. Everything organized, every tool with a purpose. And I asked myself a question I hadn't thought about in years. When was the last time I felt like a man with a life, instead of a father waiting by the window? I couldn't remember. The next morning I picked up my phone. My hands were shaking. I opened my contacts. Laura, delete. Andrew, delete. Just like that. It felt like tearing something out of my chest. But I didn't do it because I stopped loving them. I did it because I needed to stop reaching for the easiest escape every time loneliness showed up. I needed space between my emotions and their phone numbers. You cannot force someone to come closer by chasing them harder. All you can do is become someone worth coming back to. The first week felt strange. My hand kept reaching for my phone out of habit, like grabbing for a tool that wasn't hanging on the wall anymore. Then one afternoon I called an old friend, Frank. We used to fish together every summer before retirement scattered everyone. I hadn't spoken to him in 7 years. He answered on the second ring. We talked for almost 2 hours. Nothing important, and somehow everything important. The following Saturday, I drove out to his place. We spent the whole afternoon fixing an old boat motor. My back hurt, my hands were filthy, and I felt more alive than I had in years. A month later, something unexpected happened. Laura called. She had been trying to reach me. Different number. Dad, are you okay? I laughed. I said, I'm better than okay. I'm busy. She came by the following weekend with the grandkids. We built a birdhouse in the garage. My grandson held the hammer like it was the most serious job in the world. A few weeks later, Andrew stopped by too. We didn't talk about the silence. We didn't need to. Now listen carefully. I'm not promising your children will suddenly come back if you stop calling. Some relationships don't repair themselves. Some distance is permanent. And if that's your story, I'm truly sorry. That pain is real. But here is what I learned at 82 years old. A stalled engine doesn't start because you push harder. Sometimes the only way forward is to step away and let it breathe. Stop waiting by the phone. Find your garage, whatever that means for you. Fix something. Build something. Call an old friend. Volunteer somewhere. Be a human being again, not just a parent waiting for permission to matter. My name is Harold Thompson. I'm 82 years old. I worked in a steel plant for 4 decades. I have 2 children and 6 grandchildren. My phone sits on the kitchen table. Sometimes it rings. Sometimes it doesn't. Either way, I drink my coffee, I work in my garage, and I live my life. And I no longer spend my days staring at a silent phone. Neither should you.